Okay, folks, welcome to Sunday Night Futures Live. This is Bob Desmond and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What we're going to talk about tonight we're going to say hello to everybody that's in here. It's probably not going to be a very busy night given the holiday tomorrow. But before I forget, happy MLK Day. A man of some really great, if I had to have the public speaking skills of one individual, probably MLK. Did a great job. So we're going to talk about pre-market futures. The dollar is opening down here off of where we close after hours. It's still up versus the official close on Friday. We're going to talk about inflation. I got my chops busted last night at dinner about gold last week and why inflation isn't making gold go up higher. I'm going to renew the reasons why we are bullish on gold and remain bullish on gold. And first, what we're going to talk about is this. We need to pay the bills. First, we're going to say hello to Trader Isaac. Yes, everybody, please smash the like button. Yes, please. Well, hey, Bob, how are you doing? Mar looks heavy and isn't showing the quick buy, the dip reaction. No, it's not. Agreed. However, I think we fade a bit more, and then we have one last gas before a strong move down. So, yeah, there's speculation that you're going to get another stimulus check that goes out. It's a bill to us, but it's free money to other people, and most people need it, right? They're out of jobs, but a lot of people are getting it that, maybe they shouldn't be getting it to begin with. So that money is going to find its way into the stock market, no doubt about it. Speculation, we're going to see S&P 540,000 before all is said and done with this new goose. So, yeah, is it possible? Sure. I think we're far closer to the end of this rally than we are to the beginning. So I'm going to go over the charts and why I believe that in a moment. And I think that the operative the operative word here is inflation. And really, we're going to be going back and we're going to be talking about the misery index. We last spoke about that back in the 70s. Most of you were probably too young to remember that, but it was a horrible time. Larry, in Tom Brady we trust. Yes, we do. And Giselle as well. Vegas is wrong. Bucks will win. Okay, Larry made the call. Nestor, hey, Bob, and all. Hello to you. I have your ACB, Nestor. Mr. G, hello. Seymour, hello. Denny, hello to you, sir. Tommy, Amerimigo, good evening to you. RVP request, syringe play off of Biden. I guess we're going to be a lot more people doing needing syringes under this new regime. I will look at the daily RSI to break. Okay. Cena, hello. R-Train, good evening. John Spencer, hey, from Auckland, hello. Hello, welcome. Auckland, New Zealand. So it's tomorrow there, I believe, right? Will, can you take a look at the cues in TrendSpider? Sure. We're going to talk about TrendSpider now, as a matter of fact, because we got to pay the bills. So, MacArthur, hello, sir. Like button smasher. Love that name. Okay, people are filtering in here. Okay, let's do this. So, folks, you know that we are big believers here in automated technical analysis. And I want to share with you, we're going to be using it later on. I'm going to be doing a demo, but let's talk a bit about our friends over at TrendSpider. Automate your grunt work, speed up your analysis, and improve your accuracy. You don't want to speed up your analysis and forsake accuracy. You want to improve it. You do that by using automated technical analysis. Let the software do the work for you. Reduce costly mistakes, find winning chart setups, using their trade alerts. You're going to see I'm going to be using them in a moment when we do stock chart requests. Time your trades with precision. Again, that speaks to using trade alerts. The trade alerts do this for you. They allow you to trade using a rules-based approach. If this, meaning if a breakout, then you can consider buying. If not, you don't do anything. If the alerts don't fire off, stay away, avoid. So please take a moment. They have a 7-day free trial offer. Visit their website. Use the link below. 35% off. It's free with our silver and gold level memberships. Let's get to the show. All right. So let me bring back up the live stream. There we go. Okay. So let's take a quick run through the futures. And the dollar is very, very critical for me right now. As a trader, the dollar is critical. And the way we're positioned, we benefit when the dollar declines. Why? We have very large positions in the gold miners, silver. The silver miners last week was not a good week. I'll be straight with you. We did very well in our shorts. We were short Twitter. We booked profits on our Microsoft short. I'm going to be looking to get back in on that if they rally it. And we were short the small caps and the triple Q names using the SQQQ, which is a leveraged ETF. So it wasn't a horrible week, but I would rather see a weak U.S. dollar. Where I think I'm going to make the most of my profits in 2021 is the commodity arena and gold and silver primarily, but that's going to require the dollar to pull back further. So the dollar is up technically versus the close of Friday. I think that's wrong, though. I think this is wrong. We're down versus the close on Friday. That's inaccurate. We're technically down. Let's take a look at, what do we have up here? Let's stick with commodities for a moment. Crude prices, outside reversal bar. Let's go to 4-hour charts. I thought I was on a 4-hour chart. Let me go back to the dollar for a second. Yeah, man, we're down. I don't know why it's showing that we're up. All right, so light sweet crude. We're off the lows of the session, still down in the session. But crude, I mean, let's face it, folks. If you take a look at a weekly chart, very strong rally since the April lows here. Remember, it was only a few short months ago where you had to pay to take delivery of oil. You couldn't give it away. Literally, you couldn't give it away. Now, it's well up over $50 a barrel. Gold futures down. Let's set an alert here. I'll be concerned if we get a new weekly low. I think that we probably will. And if you're thinking or asking the question, is he buying the dip here? No, I am not. There'll be a time to add more to our gold mining trade, but now is not the time. So gold down. Nat gas. We'll stick with the commodity theme for a moment. Nat gas down at the lower band of support. I think this could be bought on spec here. We're in a flag formation, a bull flag setup. We're right at that lower band. I mean, you could enter here right now, put a stop loss right in the lows of the session. Wheat. Off the highs of the session. Soybeans. Rolling over. Remember though, folks, this is a 4-hour chart. Jesus Christ, Bob. There we go. You can see here that we've broken the 4-hour lower band of support on soybeans. So we're going to get a correction here. Let's take a look at equities. A little bit of a stalling action here. We're off the lows. The NASDAQ 100. For the life of me, I don't know why they're showing this as down when we're up. We have an inside bar, so it doesn't make sense. Bitcoin. I don't know. I'm worried about Bitcoin here a little bit. We broke support on Bitcoin. Let's remove this. We're up slightly. I don't know. Jury out here. We have a lower high on Bitcoin. If we break support at 31.5, it's going a lot lower. So I would be careful here with Bitcoin. I've been fairly bullish on Bitcoin of late, but I'm getting a little bit nervous here. All right, let's take a moment and look at the headlines. This is what caught my eye, and it's already begun. Biden to immediately send Congress bill that would offer citizenship to 11 million illegals. Now, I don't want to get into the politics here. It's nothing about the politics. You can agree, disagree. We're not going there. What I want to talk about is the bill that comes attached with this. Automatically, social welfare benefits get paid out. And they're going to die to do that. The Dems are going to die to do that because they want that underclass. They want people voting for them. That's the reason why they're doing this. And this is going to cost money. But all you're going to get is a barrage, one after the other, of initiatives by the Biden administration. It's not Joe Biden. You got to take a look at who he's added to his cabinet. I mean, these are some left-wing thugs, really. They're not good people. Susan Riceback. I mean, just not good people. Just not good people. So there's a price to be paid here. And when you take a look at the argument for being bullish on gold and commodities, I mean, this is off of Zero Hedge. I'll share this. And it's the argument that's really coming to fruition. Hey, Franklin. Corey, hello. It's the argument. I just put this article in the chat box there if you want to look at it. We have the Federal Reserve. You know, these checks that are going out. They're going to stop calling these stimulus checks soon, and they're going to be called. It's going to be called MMT, Modern Monetary Theory. There's nothing modern about it. It's not a theory, and if it was so great, we would have been doing it 200 years ago. What is modern monetary theory? It's basically the government printing money and sending it out to people. How is that good? How does that foster innovation? So this is the Federal Reserve believing that we're getting to where we need to be. I love this. So these checks that are going out right now, the populace is being groomed. They're getting used to these checks coming out. And, the Federal Reserve for the longest time has said, we have no inflation. We need inflation. And I was listening to Peter Schiff at the gym this morning, and he was talking about the CPI. And this is the yearly chart of the CPI. This hasn't been updated yet for 2020. This is a yearly view. And you can see that the last year where we had deflation was back in 2008, post financial crisis. There's inflation out here. And this is akin. The people making up these numbers, it's akin to having, this is Peter Schiff's analogy, it's akin to having the mafia analyze the crime reports. They're going to say, there's no crime. You don't need that many cops now. So this is the Federal Reserve saying, there's no inflation. So, we can keep the cheap money going on for as long as we need to. And we could support MMT. So the only problem is that there is inflation. Even as they report it, there's inflation. Then, as of last week, the Federal Reserve is going to say, pay attention to this number here, core CPI. Don't look here. No. Don't look there. That's bad. Look here. Look at the core CPI. What's the difference? The difference is that the core CPI takes out food prices and energy prices. They take them out of the equation. So all you're left with are areas of the economy that have yet to feel the velocity of money come hit yet. And the real number here was 0.4% on the CPI index. The prior read was 0.2. So there's inflation out there. They just don't want to admit it. And even if they report on it, they're going to tell you to look over here, don't look over here. It's corruption. So you may be asking, Bob, you showed us the chart prices of soybeans here, multi-year highs, wheat here, breaking out of a massive base, corn here. We've broken out of a massive base, and we're probably heading a lot higher. Coffee, consolidating, getting ready for a breakout. I mean, I really love coffee here. As a matter of fact, we have broken out on coffee. Copper, multi-year highs. There's inflation. There's inflation. But where else is the inflation? Where is the inflation really, really hiding itself right now? Look no further. And the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is up 79% from the lows of March. There's only one problem with that, is that earnings, this is gap earnings for the S&P 500, they haven't been this low in years, since 2017. So you have, here's the S&P 500 overlaid here in blue. S&P 500 skyrocketing, earnings falling. So you see inflation, they're sending out another check, right? Where's that money going to go? Stock market, more inflation. And how expensive is the stock market? Monthly chart, S&P 500 in red. You have PE, the number of stocks trading above 20 with a PE. It's overvalued. We have never, ever in human history been this expensive on the S&P 500. Not in 1929, not in the dot-com era, certainly not during the financial crisis. This is a ticking time bomb. So it gets worse. The GDP of the United States has never, despite the fact that the S&P 500 is at all-time highs, GDP has never recovered to the pre-pandemic levels. And it's probably not going to for a long, long time. Not with the amount of taxation that's coming down the pike. The Biden administration, they want to raise taxes on corporations. So what does that do? Well, a couple of things. One, there's less money to invest in capital expenditures. There's less money to invest in R&D for innovation. There's less money to pay out as dividends. So the dividend payouts, they're going to drop. Now, they're also going to increase the tax on dividends. So not only are companies going to be paying out smaller and smaller dividends, you're going to get taxed more and more on those dividends. So this is what's coming down the pike. Where else is there inflation? Case-Shiller U.S. National Home Price Index, all-time highs. And we're seeing this inflation when you have, we don't use, this is the unemployment numbers. This is what you call in gray here. That's the headline number. That's the U3, or they have it labeled here, official unemployment rate. That's the U3 labor rate issued by the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. You have the U5, but the true number is the U6. This counts in people that are part-time employees, but they've also dropped out of the workforce. So the real unemployment rate in this country is more like 11%, and I'm being kind. Add to that, and this is where the misery index comes in. High unemployment. And for the first time since Q2 of 2017, and I've warned about this, that the Federal Reserve can print as many dollars as they want. That doesn't mean inflation is going to go skyrocketing. When inflation goes skyrocketing is when you have the velocity of money hooking up. And for the first time in Q3 of 2020, it hooked up. That's probably only gotten worse now that the economy is somewhat opened up a bit more. So you're also seeing pressures, and this is going to directly influence the stock market. We have doubled the 10-year yield since August. That's in 8 months. What if it were to double again? That would put us up here. The last time we were up at these levels above 2%, the stock market was buckling. It was not doing very, very well. We have, if you take a look at the assets on the balance sheet, last time we were above 2% was what? January? No, I'm sorry. Let's say, when was the last at 2%? July of 19. So here's July, the Federal Reserve's balance sheet as of July 31st, 2019. Their balance sheet has doubled since that point in time. If we see yields push up higher, the interest payments alone on the debt we have to repay is going to skyrocket. We're going to have to repay money that we don't have. What does that mean? We have to print more money to pay the interest on money that we don't have. That's like taking a credit card, paying that credit card bill with another credit card. But unfortunately, both are very close to being maxed out. So this is my argument, folks. And did you know that 21% of all dollars in circulation were printed in the past year? So when you take a look at the US dollar, so far this month, it's had a very, very good month, a very good bullish reversal month. They're defending this support level because the Federal Reserve knows we break 88.15, we're coming down to the low 80s using the Dixie on the US dollar. That's going to send inflation skyrocketing. So that is why, yes, gold is down on the month. Doesn't mean it's closed there yet. It's weak. It's probably going to get a little bit weaker, but we are very, very close to all-time highs. Remember, it was only July of 2020 we did make a new all-time high. We were overextended. We pulled back. This is the pause that refreshes. So let's not get lost in 1 week's worth of data or price action, 2 weeks worth of price action. That's silliness. Look at the macro trend. We are in a clear and defined uptrend on gold, and the US dollar is in a clear and defined downtrend. Each rally or trend in each of these has taken a pause, but I don't think it's going to last for either of them. Gold is going to continue to break out with the dollar breaking down. May not be this week, may not be this month, but it's going to happen because we are sowing the seeds, meaning the Federal Reserve, Treasury, they're sowing the seeds for our own demise. It's scary, but they're doing it. And they think they're winning. All right, that's enough of me. Let's take a look at some manufacturer empire last week are bad. Yes, very bad. What's your take on CODX? We'll take a look at it, Daniel. Not a horrible crowd for Sunday night where we have a holiday the next day. I'm surprised to see so many people. Gold is also near critical level, Bob. Gold needs to rally faster. Yeah. MWK? Okay. All right, let's do this. All right. Let's bring up our... Oh, where else are we looking to buy, folks? Emerging markets. Remember that a weakening U.S. dollar is going to be a tax cut for emerging markets because their debt is in U.S. dollars. So emerging markets pulled back. We booked profits on emerging markets. I think it was back here. And using the EDC, leverage ETF. I think we're going to get a pullback here. This is going to be the opportunity to back up the truck on emerging markets. So where do I want to be once we see inflation become undeniable? Emerging markets, gold, silver, etc., commodities. Let's get rid of the potato. See if there's any news. Fox News. Get woke, go broke. All right, not much happening here. Okay, let's do some chart requests. First up, ACB, Aurora, Cannabis. This is for Nestor. I have to say I like this chart. But here is the magic line in the sand, right here. $14.47. I want to see a breakout above that level because there's a lot of resistance up there, And once we get through it, we're going to probably start ripping up higher. I'm not sure what the short interest is here, but I would be very interested in that. Weekly chart. Take a look at these Stokes. Look at the higher lows here. This is very pretty. I mean, higher lows, RSI, higher lows, and it's broken out. I mean, when I see stuff like this, it's like when you were a little kid, and for you guys that are I don't even know if I should make this analogy. When you were a little kid and you found that first Playboy magazine, and you were like astonished because it was so beautiful what you were saying, this to me is akin to that. This is money in the bank. I like the higher lows here. Good week last week. Not great, but there is a strategy to be had here. So what do we want to do? I like this price point. I want to know when we break through it. This goes back to our rules-based approach. All right, so our alert is set. There it is right here. When else would I be interested in it? You know, if we pull back, look at the breakout here if you're using the automated trend lines. If we pull back here, if for whatever reason we get a big sell-off in the market, then ACB would be a good buy here. Keep it active for a couple of weeks. So I want to buy on a breakout or on a pullback. Daily chart. It got ahead of itself. So it shot up higher on Friday, bearish reversal bar on the session. These resistance levels over here came back to haunt the shares. Expect a pullback here. Even 1033 might make for good support. So Aurora, long story short term, it's going to struggle here a little bit. Longer term, especially with the Biden administration, they're going to be dying for new tax revenue. I think they're going to legalize cannabis nationwide, gives them access to the banking system, and brings in tax revenue. So Aurora Cannabis, I think, is going to do very, very well here. Technically looking very sound, very strong chart. Hey, Pat. How you doing, pal? You with the grandkids this weekend? RVB? Or is it RVD? Did I write that down wrong? RVP. I can't read my own handwriting. Oh, this is the needle stock. This is dynamite. So clearly in a bull uptrend here. We're right at the cusp of breaking out and above the August highs. Really, really nice stuff here. Really, really nice stuff. Yeah, gold just broke to a new weekly low. That was my alert that fired off. God damn it. Oh. It's going to need a shakeout here. I think this is a bit ridiculous. The dollar was down unless it reversed. Dollar came off of its low. I think that's a little bit ridiculous. So now all I care about is if gold reverses I'm getting the sneaking suspicion that this is a shakeout of week longs. So I set an alert to fire off if we begin to break out to new daily highs, not new weekly highs, but new daily highs. So we're not going to stare at this. Let's go back to RVP, Retractable Technologies. I love this chart. Rock solid base here. 1030 per share. I'm going to set me up. I'm going to love me some RVP at this price point. A little bit of sensitivity. I'm going to keep this active for a couple of weeks. And then I want to also know when we break out above resistance. No sensitivity. Oops. Bad, Bob. Bad. There you go. Okay. We'll keep this active for 2 weeks. There's nothing I don't like here. Higher lows on a stochastics, higher lows on RSI. Let's go to the daily chart. I mean, relative strength versus the rest of the market on Friday. What more can you ask for? A nice W formation forming here. Here's the left side of your W. Right side forming. A higher low. I think this is going up higher. I really like this stock. Good pick. Very, very good pick. Nestor, yours too. All right. We had a question regarding the Tues. What was that question about support? Well, we saw it, but look at the daily hour side. Oh, so I don't think you wanted me to review the chart. Okay, I misread it. Okay. Yeah, Rick James, yeah, gold and the silver market, especially JP Morgan, they get fined, but they don't care. Last report that Playboy was nearing deal with Mountain Crest. I heard they were getting bought out. So Playboy will be publicly traded again. Good stuff. All right. Codex, CODX. It's a stock that it's shaping up. This is a long-term play. I like the higher lows here. We're consolidating nicely. We attempted to break out last week. It wasn't able to do it. Daily chart. Yeah, it was rejected. I think it's probably going to go up higher. I think it could be bought, to be honest with you. I would stay small right now, but as we begin to break out, I would add more to the position. It's just going to take time because it's got so much overhead supply above. So just be wary. This is one of those stocks where you can nibble here now, add more, nibble more on events. What are those events? When it overcomes obstacles, resistance, add more, reward yourself. Because all you're doing, if you look at it from the point of view of validation, all you're doing by adding more to your position, some people say you should be buying low and selling high. BS. You should be buying right. When you test the market and you buy a stock and it breaks through a resistance level, guess what? The market just said, you're right. Reward yourself. Buy a little bit more. If it breaks out again, buy a little bit more because the market is validating your initial thesis. So it's a good-looking stock. It's putting in higher lows. It's consolidating. There's no reason to go running it with both feet to accumulate your position up front. Nibble, nibble, nibble. MWK, Mohawk Group Holdings. What is this SPAC name? Weekly chart, very strong. Very, very strong. Nothing not to like here. It's not really extended on a weekly time frame anyway. Daily chart, very nice. Very, very nice chart. Mohawk is an Amazon third-party platform. Ecom, a third-party Amazon platform. Are they a competitor or are they a vendor for Amazon? I'm going to look into it. I love the chart because we broke out. You had Friday was a very weak day for the markets, yet Mohawk broke out. Thumbs up. Got my vote. So it looks like we're going up higher here. We're not extended on a weekly time frame. There's more room to go here. So Mohawk looking good. When am I wrong? If we drop back down below this support level here at 21.22 per share, then I'm wrong. We may retest it. So one strategy might be set your alert for a retest. Long entry on close. What does that mean? Okay, so what that means is that I'd like to see a pullback, and if by 3:59 Eastern Standard Time we are trading above this price point, even if we may be down on the day, I don't care. As long as we're retesting that support level and it's holding, I would buy it. I would probably use a stop loss if we fail to hold it, but I would scratch the itch, open up a new position, Or if you don't get that pullback, you can add more or open a position on a new weekly high, which would be a new daily high as well. So looking very good here. What else do we have? Is that everybody? I think that is everybody. We've had some really, really good charts for today. KNDI. I think I know that stock. I think it's come up on our screener in the past. KNDI. NDI. Candy Text Group. Okay. It's struggling. It's struggling. I mean, it's building a base. It's got a higher low, right? That's always good. You always want that. Here, if you're using I'm going to take my drawings off. Throw up the automated trend lines. If you had this at your disposal, TrendSpider would have picked up the breakout here, then the retest here, off to the races. Now it's consolidating. We're holding support, but we have a ton of overhead supply here. I'm not sure how old this stock is. Let me bring up a quarterly chart. Yeah. This is the value of multi-time frame analysis, folks. So look at the highs of July, then October. This is a quarterly chart. They coincide with the top that was seen in 2014. A lot of overhead supply in here. You're going to have to show a lot of patience with this stock. So it really requires a rules-based approach. I think that ultimately it's going to succeed. It's going to break out. The key is buying right. The money is made on the buy. So I always fall back on this. It keeps me safe. If we break out above resistance, we'll test the market. We'll buy a little bit. And since this is a monthly chart, we'll keep it active for 10 days. Our alert is set. Let's drill down. We'll find other price points on a pullback to set alerts at. Your Stokes are basing here on a weekly time frame. RSI, possibly putting in a higher low. Possibly. Daily chart. We broke support on Friday. I think this price point here would be very attractive. If we get a pullback. We may not get it. Let's use a spell check. I'm too lazy to type right now. There we go. And we'll keep it active for 10 days. Our alert is set. Now that price point is at, let's go to the weekly chart for a moment. It's right at around, where's the low? at 684 per share. Doesn't have to be on the penny. It could be, within a dime or so. But a pullback to that support level would be very, very good. So KNDI, it's going to take a while for it to break out higher, but I think ultimately it's going to win. I love this is a daily chart again, love the very tight Bollinger Bands. So you could get a Bollinger Band squeeze here, and I think it'll be to the upside. It'll get resolved to the upside. I would check and see what the short interest is on it. If you have a high short interest, then I would be all the more attracted to KNDI. Pat, did not hear what you said. I asked if you were with the grandkids this weekend. What else do we have? ABT, was it Abbott Labs? Daily chart looks good. I don't even need to go to the weekly chart. This stock's going to break out. You guys are savages tonight. Anybody that's on a live stream on a Sunday night that's a holiday the next day with the markets closed, you are savages. So you guys are bringing it tonight. These are some really, really good charts you're bringing up. So let's clear off all of these. This is way too noisy. Remove all. Good. Clean that sucker up. All right, so we've analyzed this chart before. We've identified key support. We have a breakout. We broke out the week of the 4th. We retested last week, and it held. And seasonally, there should be a lot of data on Abbott. Let's go back to 1987, 33 years worth of data. This has changed some. Let's go back. $10. You're coming into a seasonally favorable period of time. January, it's up a little bit over 55% or 55%. February, it's up 70%. Strong through, really strong through July. This is an interesting seasonal play. So Abbott looking very good here seasonally and technically because I think we're going to break out. We already have broken out. I think we're going up higher. Daily chart, very nice. I think it could be bought right now, to be honest with you. Then add more on a rally up and through 112.15 to, if you want to be real conservative, 112.93. A close above those marks, very powerful stuff. So Abbott looking very good. MacArthur, Bob, just want to say bingo, had a great symposium last week, plus a share offering. Ooh, buddy. Good for you. Okay. Yes, please, MacArthur. Everybody, please smash that like button. And I'm 7 away. Last I looked, 7 away from 3,000 subscribers. That's not a lot. So if you guys can help me get through that number, I would really appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, please, I beg of you, hit the subscribe button. Get me over that 3,000 mark. Thank you. All right. Amgen. We're going to leave it off with Netflix, PRTS, NFLX, ASML. Nice, Pat. Good for you. Pat has beautiful grandkids. ABBV. ABBV. All right. Okay, let's do this. Let's go with Netflix first. Let's clean this up. Okay. There we go. Okay. Start new. The monthly chart is not looking good. We did not put in a new monthly high, but we have put in a new monthly low, 485.67. Yeah, a new monthly low. We are testing the lower band of support. I think you could buy here on Netflix. I would use a tight stop, though. We break down to a new monthly low. I think it's going a lot lower. Weekly chart, same deal here. You could see how we're flirting with support. Possible higher low on Stokes. You can see with the automated trend lines. Watch this. Click of a button. I'm going to take my drawings off. They picked up on these support levels as well. So we're at a very pivotal point here on Netflix. I think if we make a new weekly low, we're probably going to take out the lows of November the 8th. And what I can do on a daily chart is overlay weekly trend lines. And there you have it. That's where we bounced last week. This has got to hold. If it doesn't, it spells trouble for Netflix. So I think it could be bought. I would just use a tight stop on Netflix. I don't like these triple Q names at all. We're short of them. So, especially Twitter. So I'd be careful here. I think you could buy it on spec, tight stop, seasonality. Over the past 10 years, I think we're coming into a favorable period. Yeah, January up 80% of the time. I don't think that's working out this month. February up 80% of the time. March up 70% of the time. So a favorable period of time. It's winter. People are staying home. So it's an interesting play, not one that I'm going to be interested to the long side. And seasonality is not working out. Maybe that'll change by the end of the month. I don't like Netflix. I just don't like it. I don't like the entire sector of stay-at-home. I don't like it. I think we're going to break. Look at your Stokes here. Threatening a rollover. Horrible price action. I don't like it. I don't like Netflix. I would avoid it. Okay. ASML. Very strong chart in a monthly time frame. Looks good. Higher highs. A little bit of selling last week. But still, closed higher in the week. Very strong. Where my RSI getting extended. It's about 81. It can go higher. Daily chart. Watch for a filling of the gap here on ASML. $517.18 looks like a good entry point. You're probably going to get there. You don't want to see it break that. But it's looking interesting, assuming it can hold $517.18 per share. AMGN. Beautiful chart. Beautiful chart. We have a breakout on a monthly time frame. Weekly chart. We broke out last week. What's not to like here? I would create an alert if you're looking for an entry point. Very safe. Risk reward. I would want to see a retest. May not get it. May just continue higher. And we'll keep it active for 5 days. You guys are bringing it tonight. I got to tell you. Very good looking chart. Nothing not to like here. I think it goes higher. ABDV. Is that right? ABDV? Did I... Oh, ABBV. Again, I couldn't read my own darn handwriting. ABV. This has been a high flyer. It still is a high flyer. Very, very nice. Look at the Bollinger Band squeeze. Note how the Bollinger Bands were tightening up. Now they're widening out. Very sexy stuff. A little bit of topping action, but we broke out last week. Clean breakout. Daily chart. Very nice. Here, we broke out on the 12th. Pullback retest 1, pullback retest 2. We closed down. I think you can buy the shares. Use a stop loss right below. If it fails to hold it, test the market, stay small. If you're right, well, then you want to be buying more on a rally above 113.50 per share. I think it looks good. I think it's a buy. We're going to leave off with BNGV. Hopefully I wrote that right. BNGV. No, I got to go back and check because I can't read my own handwriting. Oh, we got to do PRTS. That's what it is. PRTS. Sorry if I can't get to everybody tonight, but it was getting late. My voice is going. And PRTS was a bit overbought. It's been consolidating nicely. I think we close above $15.31 per share. It can be bought. You have a lot of resistance in here. Weekly chart. Bearish reversal bar last week. That tells me that the probability, not a guarantee, but there's a probability that we're going to get lower lows this coming week. I like this price point here, right where the purple line is. That's about $12.38 per share. I also want to know if we break through it. And I would stay very small until we broke out above that resistance level I pointed out earlier. And our alert is set. Daily chart. Yeah. Bearish reversal bar. I think we're going to go lower here. It's trading with the market. So no rush here. It's in a consolidation. As long as it holds this support level of 1233, it's okay. I will leave off with BNGO for MacArthur. And folks, again, if I could ask you to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, please. I beg of you. That would get me over 3,000 subscribers. BNGO. Let's see. Whoa. All right, so it's very frothy. The sector's in fuego. We know that. We went over Amgen, a couple of others. So there's no doubt the sector's in fuego. It certainly outperformed the S&P 500 last week. But this, the fact that we're trading above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band, very, very concerning. Weekly chart, same deal here. Very, very frothy. Anything could happen. You know, you had a negative reaction the last time we're above these levels. I wouldn't want to see anybody get stuck holding the bag. You know, yeah, you got lucky this next week, but man, it's very frothy. Does it look ultimately that it's going to head up higher? Sure. But from a risk-reward perspective, do I want to buy it right here, right now? No. I can't do that. So, and again, I'm just going by the charts. I know you got back from a symposium. You have more information than me. But what I would like to see here, if you're looking for a buy point, let's see a retest. We'll keep a little bit of sensitivity. Let's see a retest. And if it holds, then I'm all in. That'll resolve the weekly and monthly overbought levels. Okay. And we'll keep it active for, Jesus Christ, Bob. I'm starting to fade here, folks. We'll keep it active for a few days. Set it and forget it. That's what I'd like to see, a pullback, retracement, retest, and that'll resolve this overbought condition. That's what I would do. All right, folks. With that, I'm going to say everyone have a happy Martin Luther King Day. And thanks for joining in. Smash the like button, subscribe. And I really appreciate you folks being here every Sunday night. It's a great time. It's a great way for me to get prepared for the next trading day. Love the engagement. You guys are savages. You brought some really great charts tonight. Thank you. Have a great night. Enjoy the holiday tomorrow and have a profitable trading week. Be well.